It's V-Week on ESPN as we continue Jim Valvano's fight against cancer.
V-Week continues here in Raleigh, North Carolina, as we welcome you to the ACC-SEC Women's Challenge presented by Dixie Ultra, and of course the home of Jimmy V inside Valvano Arena at Reynolds Coliseum and playing on K-Yow Court. And we've got a terrific matchup as the ACC-SEC Challenge rolls on, all even at one apiece. Through the first couple of games, we've got 3 more for you coming tonight and 9 more tomorrow. Beth Mullins alongside Debbie Antonelli courtside and a couple of 7-0 squads, including NC State. Debbie, one of the big surprises of the first month of the season.
I think the biggest surprise in the first month, to be able to take down UConn at full strength here inside Reynolds and then to go on the road and play in a neutral site and knock off the number 3 team, Colorado. Both teams respectively a surprise in their own league, if you will. Vanderbilt picked towards the bottom. NC State picked 8th. I think both of them will figure to finish higher than that.
Yeah, and of course for the Wolfpack, they open up the preseason unranked and have just rocketed to the top, and they now find themselves number 5 in the country at 7-0.
This is an excellent core. The 5 returning players that start for head coach Wes Moore put a good offseason together. They've got great chemistry. They're connected on the defensive end, and their game is in transition. They play fast, and they score quickly. They got a lot of offense on the court to try to defend if you're Vanderbilt.
First big test of the season for Vanderbilt. If they're going to have a chance tonight, their guards, who were both out a year ago, are going to have to come up big.
Now, this is an explosive backcourt. Both can put up big numbers. Both can play the transition game. Shea Ralph's challenge with her team, playing in this environment in a sold-out building, is to change the tempo and rhythm of the game as much as you can. You got to speed it up with your defense. You got to slow it down sometimes with your offense.
Home whites for NC State, the Will Blacks for Vandy. Expecting a sellout crowd as we open up a huge weekend of women's hoops along Tobacco Road. Tomorrow night, South Carolina, North Carolina. And then on Sunday, the Gamecocks will be at Duke.
NC State in a sagging man-to-man defense.
Moore off the mark on her first attempt. Sanaya Rivers with the rebound, and she will run the point as well. As you check out the starting 5, 4 new starters in that lineup. It's a whole new vibe here in Raleigh. River Baldwin will kick it back out and get another touch, coming off an MVP performance in the Paradise Jam last week. And the starting lineup for Vanderbilt with Cambridge and Oliver in that backcourt. Sasha Washington strong on that front line.
Averages 3 offensive rebounds a game, has 3 double-doubles on the season, and can score with her back to the basket or facing up.
Foul on the Wolfpack. Justine Passat, the sophomore out of Toms River, Jersey, is the first ever transfer from Tennessee to Vandy. And a 5-star recruit now in Nashville, averaging 8 points per game for Shea Ralph, who won a national championship as a player at UConn, longtime Gino Auriemma assistant, and now in her 3rd season back home in her native North Carolina, Debbie.
Was a camper here in Reynolds Coliseum at the legendary K-Yow camps. If you grew up in North Carolina, you definitely came through here for camp, and Shea certainly did.
Born in Raleigh, grew up in Fayetteville. Her mother is in attendance. Mom, Marcia Lake, a All-American at North Carolina back in her playing days.
Vandy playing a soft cover right now with their defense as well.
Hayes into the lane off the bounce and a foul.
But one of the things that NC State has done exceptionally well is share the basketball. They've got excellent spacing. They've got 5 players on the floor that can score, 4 that can go off the bounce. And Mimi Collins' ability to shoot the 3 and extend the defense around River Baldwin has allowed River to be able to be effective as well. It's a very well put together scheme offensively by head coach Wes Moore.
Here's a look at Wes. 5th right now amongst active coaches with over 800 wins. And he has the The guy responsible for bringing ACC championships back here to Reynolds, both in the regular season and the ACC tournament in recent years. Trip and a foul on Isaiah James out top.
That's Ayanna Moore off the bounce, looking to attack, trying to get in the gaps.
Moore's already got a couple of 20-point performances through their first 7 games, including a season-high 25 in their win against Fairfield. They've been winning nail-biters all year long, Debbie.
They've had 4 games that they have won by 1 possession, a 2 or 3-point game.
Rivers, nobody stops ball, and she bounces away inside.
Fakes the dribble handoff and can turn the corner. That's explosive off the bounce.
Had that huge game against Connecticut here at Reynolds, 33 points. Passat, tough shot. And Mimi Collins has it.
Maybe too quick, considering you were able to put pressure on NC State's defense and draw a couple of fouls.
This will be a foul on the Commodores. Moore picks up the personal as Wes checks out his notes.
Wes has got a play card over there, that's for sure. I mean, he can dial it up. Now, everybody knows they run 4 out, 1 in. But their personnel is so good at running it.
His 11th year at NC State. 35 years as a head coach. A lot of success at Chattanooga. As Baldwin had it taken away.
Vandy in a horn set.
Washington. Long rebound, gets him another possession. Cambridge will try for 3 and knock it down.
Yeah, this is going to be an extra possession game for Vanderbilt. They know the transition game of NC State can be minimized if they can make buckets and get back. And we've already seen a couple of possessions where they're not going to the offensive glass. They're worried about the transition defense.
James, that's a couple of times off the bounce for NC State getting to the rim.
I mean, there's Smooth, and then there's Isaiah James. She just knows how to go off the bounce, change her pace, change her direction. Very skilled.
Quick shots from the outside for Vanderbilt early on. Rivers pull up, in and out. Oliver's got it.
This is an undersized front line for Vanderbilt, with, as long as River Baldwin is in there, which will allow Wes Moore to go to a small lineup if he wants to. That would put Mimi Collins at the 5.
Washington attacks, goes to the left hand for the lay-in. Good ball movement that time.
Yeah, you've seen Sasha Washington, right? Was on the SEC all-freshman team when she was a freshman. She's skilled. Last year, as noted, didn't play. Still working the rust off, but she's good.
She had a 20-point, 17-rebound performance already on the resume this year as Rivers is fouled on the drive.
You notice how nobody pinches in to help on that drive because the shooter's around Rivers. This is just good footwork inside by Sasha Washington, the 6'2 junior, to finish around the rim. And you know what, River Baldwin's, she's not a shot blocker, so you can get into her body a little bit and you can use your footwork to go around.
Hey, coming up next, we've got more of the ACC-SEC Challenge coming up on the men's side later on. It's Georgia and Florida State. 9 Eastern tonight on ACC Network and on the app.
Leonard Hamilton, the head coach for Florida State, has the tallest team in Division I basketball. He always has a lot of big guys on that front line. They're really making Passat work for our offense.
Cambridge, short on the step back.
Look at the box out by the Wolfpack. Everybody got a check that time.
Rivers almost had it knocked loose, trying to get a hold of it. James on the drive, goes to the left and puts it up and in.
And when the play breaks down, it's a broken play. There's multiple off the bounce, including Madison Hayes as well. We've already seen Rivers and James off the bounce. Hayes can do it too.
be a foul on James.
James got to take a better angle there. And she already had one personal foul. That'll be her second, so she's got to take a seat.
So one of the starters departs. That'll be Zoe Brooks coming on, the highly touted freshman out of Plainfield, New Jersey. Makara is also on here for Vanderbilt. Gets her first touch. Shot clock winding down. Moore off the jab step. They open up the ball game 2 for 9.
Well, Vandy wants to make NC State make a lot of decisions handling the basketball. That will help them with the tempo of the game as well.
Baldwin. Washington doesn't let her get close. And then they'll turn it over, and it's Vanderbilt basketball. 9-6, NC State up early here at Valvano Arena at Reynolds Coliseum. ACC Women's Basketball is presented by Dixie Ultra Plates. 3 times stronger than the leading store brand 10-inch paper plate. Welcome back to the ACC-SEC Women's Challenge, presented by Dixie Ultra. 9-6, State with the lead over Vandy.
You know, Beth, I think NC State's got to pick up their energy level, right? I mean, they got to look to sprint the floor. Their transition game is why they're undefeated and was able to knock off 2 teams ranked ahead of them. And I think Sanaya Rivers has had most of the responsibility for pace for this team. Let's see if they pick it up right here.
Averaging 82 points per game through their first 7. Moore off the drive, stripped loose. Let's see if they can run off the turnover. Here's Brooks. Top 10 recruit in the country this year. She'll take it all the way, drop it off. Baldwin swatted. Second chance also blocked. She'll try again, and that's rejected 3 times.
River might need a pump fake. I thought it was good defense by Vandy.
Washington got 2 of those. Makara on the drive, drops it off for Moore, and River gets a block. Another possession, though, for Vandy, and they make it pay. Triple.
Shay Ralph took her team through an excellent shoot-around this morning. They went over situations. They went over handling NC State's ball screen offense. I thought it was very well done by her and her staff.
Baldwin immediately gets double-teamed and a turnover.
And River Baldwin, coming off that MVP performance at Paradise Jam, shot 76% from the floor in 3 games. She averaged 15 points and 6 boards. Now she's got a little target on her back. They are converging on her inside.
She's moved up the scouting report. Weak side board Brooks numbers for NC State. Collins couldn't get a shot up and walks with it.
Now that's the pace I'm talking about for NC State, but look at the transition defense by Vanderbilt. If you want to knock off NC State, you got to keep them in front, and you got to make them make decisions on the offensive end. You can't just let them play downhill with the court tilted and their ability to get to the rim. You got to make them think, not react, because their instincts are too good.
Moore, ping-pong around, lost it. Here comes Brooks. Zoe, stripped, and now the other way, Pierre. Bothered on the shot by Hayes, and able to tie up River Baldwin. Possession arrow will go to NC State.
Well, maybe that'll get River going a little bit, River Baldwin, because she's shown a little bit of toughness right there, which is a little bit of resolve that she absolutely needs.
substitute here for Vanderbilt. Passat will come on.
When we talked to the NC State starting five at shoot-around today, Beth, one of the things we asked them about was River Baldwin's performance. And they said she finished the assignment. She had an assignment, and she did it well against Colorado.
She's coming in here with a lot of confidence.
And expectation now.
Madison Green has also come out for Vandy, number 4 on black.
Rivers, they clear it out for Rivers to go one-on-one.
Second time up, draws the foul.
I really like that clear out by Wes Moore. It's a great job to give it to your best off the bounce with size. And let Sanaya Rivers go to work.
Trying to get her a touch to snap out of their funk. They've missed their last 5 shots. 3 turnovers in the last 3 minutes. 80% on the season for Sanaya. Out of Wilmington, North Carolina, started out her career at South Carolina, was a part of their national championship team a couple years ago, and now her second season here.
The #1 high school player coming out of high school that year out of Wilmington. Her sister Nana actually played basketball here at NC State.
That was the second foul, by the way, on Passat. So both sides are down a starter already here in the first quarter, final 2 minutes. Pierre strong to the rim, can't finish. Good help, and she fouls.
So the freshman Mallory Collier getting some early minutes here in the first quarter. And right away, Vanderbilt trying to take her off the bounce. The amount of detail that both of these coaches went through today felt like March, right? It's November. It's great.
Well, we've seen such a high level of play around the country. We've seen so many upsets already early in this season that, well, you really feel like parity is starting to grab a foothold in the game. The depth is no longer just the top 10. It's now the top 20 or 25 and beyond. We're going to be building towards a fun season. A lot of contact inside, no whistles, and now there's one. Well, no ball is called. It's going Vandy's way.
Blocking out on the free throw line is a real thing now in college basketball. I've seen teams win games by getting their own misses.
Cambridge 3. Rivers could hold it.
Cambridge maybe a little heat check going for a quick 3. She's already made 2.
Grad student from Nashville. Place on the All-SEC defensive team.
See, the reason why you go under that ball screen is so that you can get to the angle and not let them turn a corner. Madison Hayes knows that, and she took the wrong angle, and it's a good take off the bounce by Vandy.
And now Hayes will have to go with 2 fouls. So that's 2 state starters.
Let's see if NC State stays in the man-to-man defense. They do on the out-of-bounds play. Let's see what he does next time down the floor.
Oliver able to knock that down.
Tell you what, Vandy's locked in.
Well, they knew they were going to have a test in a hostile environment. Shay Raff was telling us today she really likes how this team is coming together, the makeup, and was really looking forward to how they would handle the adversity tonight. So far, so good. Skip to Moore.
Collier with great position on the weak side.
There's Brooks again. Taken away by Vandy. On the run. And missing the layup is Green.
That's 2 layups that Vanderbilt has missed in transition. Last possession here for NC State. Vanderbilt switching.
Nice pass. Brooks to Collier. Good vision. And that'll do it for the first quarter. NC State by a couple.
This is an excellent read by Zoe Brooks. Vanderbilt on the switch. She reads the roll. Good finish inside by Collier. NC State with a 2-point lead.
Already tonight, Notre Dame, a big road win at Tennessee. Down a couple of their best players. Florida tops Georgia Tech tonight, so all even at 1-1. Layla Reynolds had 18 for the Gators. And Maddie Westbeld, a double-double for the Irish, 15 points, 11 rebounds. Still to come, Miami, Mississippi State. They actually are going on right now, Mississippi State with the early lead. And Louisville, Ole Miss on deck tonight on ESPNU.
How about Notre Dame coming back on the road, a double-digit deficit? No Sonia Citron, she's still on the bench with an injury. No Rakia Jackson for Tennessee.
9 more games tomorrow, including a couple of Final Four teams. Virginia Tech at LSU. Angel Reese expected back, according to Coach Kim Mulkey, for the Bayou Bengals. This will be for the shot.
So Vandy comes out to start the second quarter in a zone, and NC State does a good job of attacking the gaps. Let's see if NC State can find Lacey Steele for a 3 on the top of the floor here in this out-of-bounds play.
The two freshmen may have extended minutes with some foul trouble. Brooks fouled on the drive by Sasha Washington.
That's back-to-back fouls.
She has 2.
Sorry, Beth. It's back-to-back fouls that Zoe Brooks has drawn.
She's been averaging over 20 minutes per game off the bench.
Going to the line for the Wolfpack, Zoe Brooks.
And is a 78% free throw shooter.
Pierre returning.
You got to know the scout, right? She's 1 for 14 from the three-point line. She hasn't gotten a 3 going yet this year. So you got to give her a little cushion, keep her in front. She's too good off the bounce. But I like the switch to zone. Let's see what NC State does.
Well, they have to do the same.
It looks like they're going to stay in their man.
Got it.
Good acceleration to the three-point line. That's the way you exit cut. Get your feet organized underneath your shoulders. Excellent.
Freshman from Poland. On the scouting report, it says shooter. And she showed it right there. And a spot from Rivers. That's their first 3 of the game.
One of the most improved parts of her game is her ability to shoot the 3. That was her weakness.
For this whole NC State team.
Yes,
improvement.
Absolutely.
Nice backdoor cut and a good find. Oliver to Camille Pierre, the 6'2 freshman who was the Arizona Prep Player of the Year last season.
Vandy only showed a couple of possessions of zone. That's the kind of changing defense, changing the rhythm of the game that I was talking about at the beginning. In order to be a really good team, you have to be able to influence the rhythm of the game by changing your defenses.
Well, there have not been many fast break opportunities for NC State. That has been their bread and butter through the first month of the season.
Got to come with a long closeout on Makarat.
Cambridge moving some pieces around. Takes advantage of the double screen up top.
That is so smart. And NC State went underneath all that action. That's her 3rd triple. Cambridge got a nice game. She shoots the 3. She leads the team in assists. She manages the tempo.
It's Rivers. Rebound Collier, and that's blocked.
How about a pump fake by the bigs for NC State?
Well played by Pierre.
That's the 4th block for Vanderbilt, a team that averages 4.
Commodores on top, on the road. Oliver. Takarad. Did she keep both puppies down? Collins clears. Rivers looking to run. That's a lot of control.
And Zoe Brooks has got to sprint to the corner. You don't jog. Sanaya Rivers went right by her. You got to run the floor hard.
Yeah, Vanderbilt kicking themselves right now. That's 3 missed layups.
The reason why you sprint, Beth, is so that you open up space. I don't know where Sanaya Rivers was going. There's 4 black jerseys there, but if you sprint, you take away some of that ability to converge on the ball. You got to share, spread it out a little. You got to sprint.
James has come back into the game, playing with a couple fouls. The kick out. Lacey steals.
Oh, that's America's play. Reject the screen, drive baseline, re-screen, fill behind the screen, and stick it. What a great way to get your shooter going.
Freshman out of Edmond, Oklahoma. And the Oklahoma State Player of the Year. Got a whistle off the ball on the screen on Vanderbilt.
After not making any threes in the first quarter, look at this. You reject the screen, River Baldwin re-screens, then you fill behind the penetration. Very well executed by NC State, and that is their 2nd triple in the 2nd quarter.
James hesitates. Oh, in and out. Here comes Green.
Well, Westmore really trusts Isaiah James to put her in the game with 2 fouls, and she's got to play smart on this end of the floor because she's too valuable on the other end.
Cambridge, after James went under the screen, Baldwin tries to track it down, and it'll go to NC State.
I mean, Jordan Cambridge came into the game, Beth, as a 39% three-point shooter. So the scout is she can shoot it, and she's proven that. She's 3 for 5. If you keep going under, she's going to keep pulling that trigger.
Yeah, she had 5 triples against Northern Iowa, career high 28 the other night. Baldwin from Brooks.
That's a great drop-off by Zoe Brooks. That's an excellent decision by the freshman.
Going to be a blocking foul on the Wolfpack. That'll be on River Baldwin.
Off the stagger, the skip, and then the penetration. Draws help, drop it off. Very well executed again. Good fight by Steele over the top of that screen. And look, she gets the deflection.
Got the jack to beat the shot clock, and that'll be a violation. NC State trying to get fired up and trying to bring the crowd into it. They go up 4. 4:40 to go in the half.
Jordan Cambridge, the 5'9" graduate student who leads the team in assists, leads the team in scoring through the first half. She's made 3 triples. She's done an excellent job of locating outside the three-point line, and the way NC State has defended her is with a soft cover. They're going to have to get a little bit more aggressive and make her make a play off the bounce. Because right now, she's got 3 triples, and she is shooting till her arm falls off.
There you see the numbers on Cambridge. She's got 3 of their 4 triples. They're trying to break through. Now in season number 3 under Shea Ralph. And projected to be at the bottom of the league. They don't think that's how it's going to play out. They have had trouble against top 10 opponents under Shea. A big opportunity here today. And she is looking for them to show their grit and to try and find their killer instinct. You see, in the last 3 years, 1 in 10 against ranked opponents.
Well, she's a competitor, and her team reflects that.
Yep.
Well, she's changed it up again. They're in a zone.
They are ESPN.com's Team of the Week, by the way. After success in Las Vegas, as Baldwin knocks down the shot.
Well, they're built for a close game, that's for sure, because of the 4 games they've played in so far this season that were 1-possession games.
Brooks with a pick, with the cross, and draws the foul.
Zoe Brooks, one of the top-ranked recruits. Big part of this terrific recruiting class that Wes Moore brought in. Remember, he didn't bring any freshmen in last year. This year, he's got 4 players that are excellent and outstanding. And Zoe Brooks is the leader of this group in terms of numbers.
After contending and winning the ACC for a couple of years, they fell off last season. Got bounced early in the NCAA tournament, and you really got the sense that the chemistry was just not there that they had in previous years. They lost 4 regulars in the lineup, and an opportunity for other Wolfpack Debbie to step up into bigger roles and for these freshmen to step in right away.
Well, that's the thing about the core 5 that Wes Moore had returning. They all start, and they all got better in the offseason. They stayed together, and they have really melded well with the freshmen.
State's on an 8-0 run right now to open this thing up. Vandy has missed their last 5 shots. Almost turned it over.
Look at Cox in there fighting for rebounds as well.
And the ball will stay this way.
Well, we talked about Isaiah James playing with 2 fouls. Shea Ralph has put Sasha Washington back in the game with her 2 fouls.
Oh, they got 4 players with 2 fouls here in the first half. Washington calling for it. Baldwin knocks her off her footing. Turn on the shot point. Green off the bounce. Washington.
Much better defense by NC State.
The drought continues for Vandy.
Vandy sprinting back to play zone off that miss. Usually you go zone after makes.
Steal no. Cox with the rebound. Another possession for the Pack. Rivers going to have to create. Uses the screen and hits the triple.
Now I'm going to give that assist right there. That screen assist to the rookie. Maddie Cox didn't panic. Instead of taking a bad shot, get it to one of your top scorers. NC State on an 11-0 run to build a 10-point lead here in the second.
NC State over Vanderbilt. The last Vandy field goal was at the 7:42 mark. And it starts with the defense generating the offense.
So the clock is running down. The crowd is counting out the number, and Cox gets into a ball screen right here to give Sanaya Rivers a great look. It's a smart, heady, high IQ play by the rookie. And Sanaya Rivers with her second triple. She has only made 2 coming into the game, so she's getting better at shooting the 3 and a lot more confident because she's put the time in.
She's got 11 points. See if Vandy can break out of the drought.
They go to their chin, Princeton offense.
Allen does so. Ryan Allen, sophomore, knocks down the triple.
You get ball movement, you get player movement, you reverse sides of the floor, and Allen is wide open. That's just her second triple of the season.
Brooks thought about it as they sag off of her. Cox baseline drive, no. Baldwin step back is good.
Baldwin occupying a weak side glass. So Westmore can counter by putting Sanaya Rivers on Jordan Cambridge because she's been the best offensive player.
Washington goes to work on that left side and uses the window.
When you are an undersized post player, you have to have good footwork. There's an excellent undersized post player over there on Vandy's bench.
I hear you. Ambly early.
If there was a Hall of Fame for undersized post players, I'm putting her in it right now.
Rivers drives baseline. She's starting to heat up.
She's got a great tempo about her and an understanding and that locked in at the top of the defense. When you start getting in the stance, once you cross midcourt, everyone else wants to get one.
Washington called for the travel.
We were talking about undersized post players having great footwork and understanding angles. That's Ashley Early right there. That graduated from Vanderbilt in 05. One of the all-time greats to play there. Christina Fogey's over there also. She led the SEC in scoring one year.
Final 20 seconds. Rivers. Well, she's feeling it now. 15 in the first half for Sanaya.
She's D'ing up the best player on the other team right now, and she's putting points on the board for NC State. That's why she's on the Naismith watch list.
Nice pick and roll, Washington from Cambridge. And that'll close out the first half. 35-26, NC State with the lead over Vanderbilt in the ACC-SEC Women's Challenge presented by Dixie Ultra. Let's get you back to the studio and Kelsey Riggs.
Beth and Debbie, thanks so much. Welcome into this ACC Network Halftime Report alongside Hall of Famer Muffet McGraw. I'm Kelsey Riggs. Great to be with you. Got a lot of action to get to. Our men's crew standing by right now. Coach, let's start with what we're seeing from NC State. Number 5 team in the country, up 35-26 at the break. Took them a little while to get going, though. What was going on?
Very slow start. I think the alarm didn't go off until the second quarter, and then they started to play. River Baldwin and Mimi Collins combined 1 for 7 in the first quarter. Really couldn't get anything going. Had some opportunities. Defensively, a little bit lax. Vanderbilt came out like they had something to prove, and then they started to play. I think River Baldwin had 3 field goals. They went on a big run at the end of the half. The defense turned into offense. They hit some threes.
They're shooting 41%, just 41% in the first half so far. I'm glad when the alarm went off that they didn't hit snooze and that they came back to life, because right now they've got the lead at the break. Welcome back into this halftime report. You're watching NC State and Vanderbilt here on ACC Networks. Sanaya Rivers with the layup there. It's a 35-26 lead for the Wolfpack. See, now we go NC State. It was a little bit of a slow start, but don't worry. River Baldwin in the paint. She can get it done. She does there. 35-26. Wolfpack in the lead at the break.
The ACC-SEC Women's Challenge presented by Dixie Ultra. They're all a part of Jimmy V Week. NC State with that big second quarter has opened up the 35-26 lead behind the play of Sanaya Rivers. Debbie?
Well, Sanaya Rivers had a huge second quarter. After 5 first quarter points, she erupted for 10. She went 4 for 6 and 2 for 3 outside the three-point line. Just did a good job of blending her skill set with the space on the floor and looking to attack, and led NC State on an 11-0 run. So good to that right hand off the bounce, so Vanderbilt's got to force her left here in the second half.
That 11-0 run that opened things up Jordan Cambridge had the good first half for Vandy, was 3 of 6 from beyond the arc. They have to stay out of foul trouble. They had 4 players that had to sit a long time in that first half. That's when NC State made their run. Both sides coming in 7-0 on the season. NC State has gone from unranked to number 5 in the country behind the strength of their 2 top 5 wins over UConn and Colorado.
So we started out the game talking about 2 undefeated teams that are going to play a really good schedule moving forward. And for Shea Ralph's team and Vanderbilt to come in here and win, they had to be able to change the tempo of the game. They got the tempo where they wanted it in the first quarter, but in the second quarter, they couldn't contain Rivers.
Held ball. And that'll go to Vandy. This is the 3rd game of the ACC-SEC Challenge. Along with Miami and Mississippi State, they are also playing right now. All even at 1 apiece. Florida a winner over Georgia Tech, and Notre Dame beating Tennessee at Thompson Bowling. Big win for the Irish tonight. Down to 5 on the shot clock. And Baldwin rebounds the more miss.
NC State has not been able to get anything in transition. You got to give credit to Vandy for getting back. That was on the top of the scatter report. And there's the skip over the top of the defense. That's why you run and push, because you create mismatches early in the possession.
Washington. That's another missed layup for Vandy. That's 4.
Look at the sprint up the court, and it's a wide open layup because everybody runs. Timeout, Vandy.
5-0 run to open up the 3rd quarter for NC State.
Timeout, Vanderbilt. Officials, timeout.
For the midway through that second quarter, Vanderbilt had the lead, but NC State on a 22-7 run since, Debbie.
I mean, they sprint, they run. You create mismatches automatically early in a possession. The skip over the top is a great find. Now watch how hard everybody runs. That's hard to match up with in transition, and Sanaya Rivers runs right by everyone in a black uniform.
17 points now for Rivers. Cambridge on the drive, and it's blocked by Sanaya.
The other thing too, Beth, is Westmore put Sanaya Rivers on Cambridge in that second quarter, and they shut her down, and there she is again.
All smiles from Sanaya. She's having fun running the floor right now. She's got 19. Continues to struggle. 0 for 6. She's scoreless tonight. Foul on the handoff on Rivers.
So this is where NC State's got to show a little maturity. And there's the D by Rivers. And Sanaya on the push. I mean, blows by.
You have got to get that right hand.
You got to get on the right hand. You can't let a straight line drive you from rim to rim.
No, that was 94 feet. First big test of the year for Vanderbilt. First ranked opponent, they're saying. Washington's been good going to that left hand.
I think she's talented. And I love the play call by Shea Ralph. Get your big girl going. That's your leading scorer. Let her bury River Baldwin in the rim.
Collins. Weak side crash for Hayes. Gets Mimi another shot. Commodores on the counter.
Yeah, you got to get high hands on Cambridge.
Washington. Baldwin was there that time.
Good D by River Baldwin. She had that one series in the first quarter where Vanderbilt took advantage of her. Otherwise, River Baldwin has played with a measure of toughness here. The second quarter and into the second half. Moore probes baseline. Blocking foul going to be called on Baldwin. Yeah, Baldwin tried to draw a charge the first time, and the officials let it go. And the second time the ball comes through, she's trying to get there. She has to obtain legal guarding position, which she did not. Also this year, like Debbie, we're ignoring the line on the court underneath the basket. The restricted area is much smaller now for women's basketball. Yeah, we're ignoring the restricted area, the semicircle, but the cylinder now is the restricted area. So right underneath the basket. Still on the court. Here comes Moore. James bodying her the whole way. Vanderbilt wanted a whistle there. Baldwin's got it. Two-handed rebound in traffic. Rivers, not enough on that pass. Samara Rivers hasn't made many poor decisions tonight, but I would put that in a poor decision category. Oh, Passant quick on the shot. With range, too. Passant's going to make me have to get my tape measure out if she's going to make one of those. That's long. That's a deep shot for three. That's two of those starters, Passant and Moore, combined 0 for 10 tonight. It's not a good recipe for knocking off the number 5 team in the country. Here comes that double team. Remember, Beth, we watched Shea Ralph's team go through trapping ball screens as a change of pace. And I like that call right there. You want to be disruptive. Be a disruptor. Oh, nice. Baldwin. That is really well executed. And a 1-2 Debbie where she's reached the 500 career rebound mark. She's now got 8 points and 9 boards. That's a great catch on the move by River Baldwin. Good pass by Hayes. Pierre was wide open. That ends their drought. They have missed their last 5 shots. As good as the offense has been this year for NC State, the defense, I mean, is 5th best in the country in field goal percentage. They're turning people over a lot. I think you make one more pass right there. Again, a trap of the ball screen. That'll be a foul on Collins.
NC State foul turns
Collins with 6 rebounds, but not able to score the game yet, so you gotta let the game come to you, right? That's one of the characteristics of this NC State team early that's been really good, is that it doesn't matter who does what. Who scores, who gets stats, it doesn't matter to them. They stay connected. We have 4 players averaging in double digits. It's somebody different every night. As Vanderbilt tries to fight their way back into this. They've trailed by as many as 16. Hayes off the bounce to Baldwin. Count it. And one for River. Under 5 to go here in the third. NC State in control.
First, second.
It's V-Week on ESPN as we continue Jim Valvano's fight against cancer.
And on behalf of head coach Jimmy Valvano, his family, Leanne, Jamie, Pam, and grandson Rocco.
Jim Valvano's family, honoring his memory at a game last year. It is V Week at ESPN when we partner with the V Foundation to highlight the urgent need for cancer research. It's game-changing research that helps save lives, and you can join the fight against cancer by visiting v.org/donate. 100% of your donation goes directly to cancer research. With the celebration of the 30th anniversary, I think, Debbie, of their national championship team.
It's the 40th.
Or 40th? It's,
yeah. That was his wife, Pam, and 2 of his 3 daughters. I saw Jamie and Leanne out there as well. Nicole.
Grandson Rocco. Yeah, had the photo. Of course, this is Valvano Arena, where the men used to play. And the court named after Kay Yao, his longtime friend. And for many years, Jimmy coached the women's team. Jimmy coached the men's team. Kay with the women's team, and you were here for some of those.
Yeah, I loved coming to practice, watching Coach V's team. He was so good to us. Some great memories about watching him with his guys. Shout out to all those guys winning that championship 40 years later. I know my man Derek Wittenberg is probably in the building somewhere. He doesn't miss many of these.
Jimmy's got the bronze statue outside. Katie's got the bronze statue outside. Congratulations to Muffet McGraw, by the way, getting the bronze statue soon at Notre Dame.
Yeah, December 17th. Can't wait to see that.
Much deserved. Fighting Irish got a big road win. Maddie Westbeld a double-double today. That was on the road at Tennessee. Still hoping that we will see that dynamic backcourt of Sanaya Citron and Olivia Miles together again at some point. One out injured, one out rehabbing from an injury last year. Eric Cruz will have you covered in Charlotte for the ACC Championship football game. Louisville and Florida State will start Friday at 3 Eastern with the ACC Huddle Preview Show right here on ACC Network and the ESPN app. Florida State trying to stay undefeated. I think if they do, they're into the playoff. It'd be really tough to keep out an unbeaten squad.
I want to give a shout out to Dave Doran, the football coach here at NC State. Another heck of a year for them.
I think Wolfpackers are rooting for a big Florida State win, right? And
yeah,
there's a good chance that NC State could go to a New Year's Six Bowl, could go to the Orange Bowl. That would be huge.
Chancellor Randy Woodson is in the house tonight as well. There he is, Chancellor at NC State. Big sports fan.
Yep. Rivers, oh, what a pretty spin and a foul. Well, he's watching history. No team has ever gone from unranked in the preseason to top 5 before the month of December. I mean, they're doing it in, what, 3 weeks?
Yeah, it's amazing, right?
I think the fastest was 9 weeks.
It's just amazing. You know, when you knock off UConn at full strength,
That's before the Fudd injury.
That's a big deal. It's always a big deal because they're so well prepared, so well coached, so much talent. It's a measuring stick for everyone that goes against them. That'll be a big win when their March rolls around for the NC State resume. That's for sure.
Offensive rebound. Rivers, who has hit the 20-point mark, kicks it out. Hayes short. Ooh, the house was ready to come down with that one.
That's where Sanaya Rivers' game has grown. Remember last year, she was forced into playing the point, and she handled it okay. But she has really worked on it in the offseason to be prepared and ready. And Westmore was counting on her being ready to run the point. And, of course, Zoe Brooks is a freshman. She runs the point as well. She gets some backup minutes there. But right now, Westmore can play them together because Zoe Brooks has evolved so much at the 2 spot as well.
Oliver, Washington, the spacing is off right now, and it's picked by Brooks. Missed the layup. James able to keep it alive. Hayes wants a redemptive 3, and that one misses as well. Green pushes, Hayes blocks, and a foul.
If you watch Madison Hayes, you can respect the competitiveness and the grit that she plays with. Westmore doesn't run a lot of plays for her, he doesn't need to. She hustles, she understands the schemes, she's unselfish on the offensive end. And then you look at the stat sheet at the end of the night, and she's a right side of the box score player for NC State. She didn't have to have a lot of points and rebounds, but she impacts the game on many different levels in the other side of the box score.
On the recognition, too, Debbie, she needed one more pass on that last shot attempt, and as she was walking up the court, she's apologizing to West. Sorry, I should have given that up to the free man right next to her. That's a sign of maturity with this group, and their willingness to play together, have fun together, doesn't matter who scores.
Well, if you can beat UConn, that you got to replicate that energy every night. Now you got a level of expectation about you, and now you got to deal with the top 5 ranking, right? So there's a lot here early in the season to still improve upon.
Good jump stop for Oliver in the finish.
Jordan Oliver.
And I think Shea Ralph is going to feel that way about going up against NC State. This is really the toughest team on their schedule to this point, but they beat all those other teams that, you know, with 4 close games. That gives you a measure of confidence as well.
Well, you're going to get a lot accomplished in your film study. A lot to learn from, a lot to grow on. And their schedule, Debbie, is very manageable the next 6 weeks. All winnable games before they run that late January gauntlet of Tennessee, South Carolina, and Ole Miss. Taken away by Rivers. On the run, behind the back. Going to the right side. Got it. Oh, she having fun.
8 for 12, 22 points, 7 boards for Sanaya Rivers. Look at head up, handling behind the back, getting to that right hand. No detour, rim to rim. She's going all the way.
And the flex. I'm going to see the numbers for Sanaya. She was the ACC's 6th player of the year last year. That first player off the bench. The 3rd year in a row that State has won that award. They've got another candidate this year in Zoe Brooks. But she's off to the kind of start where she's not 6-man anymore. She's MVP contender, player of the year in the ACC. There's the last 3.
Yes, Sanaya Rivers has got a burst, right? And she's got to change pace and direction. And she's getting better at shooting the 3. And look at that anticipation right there.
Oh, ball in the back, trying to scoop it up. Can't get that one to go. Here comes Cambridge. Should go coast to coast.
Cambridge has not scored a basket. As Fasant gets a great look. Cambridge hasn't had a basket since the 7-minute mark in the 2nd quarter.
They just cannot get it to go. Vanderbilt shooting 31% from the floor with just the 36 points. And now NC State can hold for the last shot of the 3rd quarter.
Gonna go 1-4 flat. Vandy's gonna switch to a zone. I like it.
Brooks lost the handle and has to hoist.
Too slow developing.
Yeah. One of the few miscues for NC State today. They are in charge as we head to the 4th. .36 NC State, the lead over Vanderbilt. The homecoming for Shea Ralph, who is a native of the state of North Carolina, high school player of the year, went on to star at UConn, where she won a national championship and was a longtime assistant coach. And Now back home in the Carolinas. Mom Marcia is in the house, former All-American at North Carolina. And that's her granddaughter Mason in her lap. Watching Shay on the sideline along with her husband, Tom Garrick, who is one of the assistant coaches and a terrific player at Rhode Island, and then a handful of years in the NBA. And Zoe Brooks scores on the first possession, a triple for State.
See, NC State handles the double and trap on the ball screen, reverses it to a wide open shooter. And Marcia Lake was truly one of the pioneers at North Carolina. She was a big-time baller. I got a scouting report on her from several people. I mean, she was in the mix for the Olympic team. You know, she was on the, she could have been on the 76 Olympic team. But she decided not to try out. But she did win a gold medal with the World University Games, which, you know, you got to take the Russians on that. Semenova.
Basket for Isaiah James for three. And everything going NC State's way. We grew up in this area, Debbie, watching State and Carolina and Duke back in the day. So there's Isaiah James right there. 3 of the top 6 most improved shooters in the conference are Wolfpackers, including Mimi Collins in that top spot there.
That is called player development. Getting in the gym and working on your game. And Mimi Collins, #1 in improvement. I mean, she only made 9 last year. She's already on track to do double that. And you know what? She's changed her mechanics. She got in the gym and she worked on it. That's what you got to do. You got to shoot it. You got to get in the gym. Everybody has a Dr. Dish in their building.
Oh, yeah. That's the machine that rebounds for him. Sends it back out.
Passes it back. Not only that,
in your shooting pocket.
Hits you right in the pocket. You know what? You plug up your iPod, you put the music on, you grab a Gatorade on your way in, turn on the dish, get your shots in.
Then you got working.
Then you go back to the training room, get a massage. You know, and if you have a water massage here at NC State, yes, it can be a long day. And you get your shots up and feel pretty good about it.
Well, I mean, we spend a lot of time at the gym too, sitting through shoot-arounds, and all of our game prep can be quite taxing.
Yeah, it's got a measure of heavy lifting when you prep like we do. There's a lot of time on film and other things that we like to do to get ready for the game.
Brooks fouled on the drive. This is how hard we prep. This is us hard at work.
I know Gail and Dwayne O'Neill, who
sent the big bucks on the new locker room here we got a tour of.
After working with you for 28 straight years, I think I could use a water massage.
A lot of weary bones. Yeah. Here's our longtime buddy and assistant, Lindy Brown.
Lindy.
TV time. Hey, Lindy.
Stats man extraordinaire.
Hey, this is just day 1, by the way, of our ACC-SEC Challenge. 9 more games coming tomorrow. We're going to stay right here in the Triangle and head up to Chapel Hill to call Carolina.
Yeah, I think that game's sold out.
Yes, it is.
That'd be fun. That'll be a fun one.
You've also got Florida State hosting Arkansas. And what do you think, Vatek and LSU? Angel Reese is back for the Tigers. Elizabeth Kidley putting up big numbers with Georgia Amor from Virginia Tech.
I think it's going to be really exciting. I'm looking forward to watching the South Carolina, North Carolina game. Dawn Staley's team is averaging 100 points.
My goodness.
I love it.
They are playing with malicious intent. They are out to take people down.
They got guards that can score.
They are playing so well to start out the season. Good guards. Camila Cardoso is putting up numbers that mirror those of Asia Wilson and Aaliyah Boston in their National Player of the Year seasons.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. It'll be a great environment over there in Chapel Hill.
It's going to be a fun one to watch. I think a lot of people are talking about it being a rebuilding year in Columbia, and Dawn Staley was having none of that. She's got her club ready to go, and a big challenge tomorrow for North Carolina, coming off of a couple of losses, back-to-back losses, a trip, to the Caribbean.
That's at the Gulf Coast Showcase in Florida,
Florida.
But they got Deja Kelly, and Deja Kelly can put up a big number. She has carried a lot of the scoring load for them, and they've struggled to score, frankly, but I'm really not worried about them because I think they're going to get connected and get it together.
There's just been a high quality of basketball around the country. Look what the Pac-12 is doing. 4 teams in the top 10.
Well, we got a great tweet at Stanford, and Tara Vanderbilt, the all-time winningest coach, has another great squad with Cameron Brink and others.
He's getting close to Coach K's all-time wins record.
I mean, that interior that she has is going to be tough for anybody to match.
Yep. James, one-handed.
Vandy had the tempo where they wanted it in the first quarter. And then Sanaya Rivers had a big second quarter and really pushed NC State, propelled them to that double-digit halftime lead.
Sasha Washington.
Vandy had a little foul trouble to deal with early on.
Yeah. It's going to be a trouble. Hey, stick around to come here on ACC Network. We'll go to the men's side. Georgia and Florida State in the ACC SEC Challenge. That's at 9:15 Eastern on ACC Network. Meanwhile, social media wondering what in the world is an iPod getting tonight. You may have lost yourself with that one.
Nobody has an iPod anymore?
Oh, they're all on your iPhone now.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, I don't listen to music.
Pierre fouled on the drive. She and Collins thought about it and then thought better about just walking away.
Number 2, Mimi Collins. Her second, 40 on the team. On the line is number 12.
This is Camille Pierre. She committed to playing hoops as a sophomore in high school. She's sort of new to the game. She was an elite level soccer player. She's got a big frame and she's a good athlete. Cambridge still scoreless here in the second half for Vanderbilt after those 9 first half points behind 3 triples. It really kept Vandy in the game early on.
NC State has done a good job of keeping her and Moore quiet, the 2 players we talked about to open up the broadcast.
Yeah, I got to say, this is one of Wes Moore's better defensive efforts early. There's multiple guards that can defend. Sanaya Rivers can guard 1 through 5. Long and athletic, and when they needed to shut down Cambridge, Wes Moore went to Sanaya, and she shut her down. Rivers.
Sanaya with 22 points, 8 rebounds today.
The freshman Madison Green.
And there's Cambridge. It's the 3.
Jordan Cambridge.
Switch. Brooks to steal. Short. You know what, though? That's an excellent job by Brooks setting up the shooter in the corner. I think that's the backcourt of the future for NC State.
Vanderbilt right now in a 7-0 run. ACC women's basketball is presented by Dixie Ultra Plates, 3 times stronger than the leading store brand 10-inch paper plate. Here's a look at the remaining unbeaten. There's 26 total in D1, but only 5 left, Debbie, in the ACC and the SEC.
Well, Miami and Mississippi State are playing each other tonight, and Vanderbilt and NC State, should this score remain. South Carolina tomorrow night will put their team up against the Tar Heels.
And an update on that Miami-Mississippi State game. Miami up in a tight one right now. 8 wins are needed to clinch the challenge. 1-1 through the first couple of games. This one certainly looks like it will head to the ACC.
What a start for Wes Moore. How about our conversation with him today? Worried about his lunch plans because it was kind of running into shoot-around, right? I mean, Monday is $5 burgers, Tuesday's half-price ribs, Wednesday's a wild card.
So he was all right with that.
I bet he went to the PR is what I'm guessing. Players retreat down there on his wrist. Oh, one of his favorite places to go. We didn't get the invite, but nonetheless. Next time.
So Lacey Steele, another top 100 recruit, a terrific class.
She's going to be really good, Brother. You know what? She's going to be good because she's a shooter, and I think the pace of the game and the speed of, the rhythm with which you shoot is something you got to adjust to at this level, and I know she will. She works at it.
They have had some awfully good shooters here over the years. Debbie passed to a few of those.
Well, you can't be the best non-stat starter in NC State history if you're shooting all the time.
Hey, isn't Kristen Gillespie coming in here soon?
Yeah. So last year, NC State celebrated their 25th anniversary of that 98 team that went to the Final Four. On Sunday, Illinois State will be here with Coach Gillespie. To my knowledge, Christy McKinney, who was Christy Earnhardt, is the only former player that brought as a head coach that brought a teammate here to play. I think Kristen will be second. So it's alumni weekend too. So all of her former teammates will be present and accounted for here, there, and everywhere.
Fun day.
So there'll be a PR sighting. Players retreat.
Now charged to number 12, that's her 5th personal.
That is the 5th personal foul, so she is fouled out. Wes Moore and the rest of the Wolfpack family celebrating the 50th year of women's basketball here. Of course, the ACC, go back to the early days. The very first and still longest running women's tournament is the ACC tournament. NC State, Maryland with Chris Weller, Virginia with Debbie Ryan used to rule the roost back in the early days. And then Sylvia Hatchell at North Carolina and Gail Gestencourt at Duke cranked it up a notch. Louisville and Notre Dame show up. Jeff Walls and Muffet McGraw when they came over from the Big East, and that ratcheted things up a notch.
Now they're going to be at 18 next year. Yes, Stanford, Stanford's Cal and SMU come into the league. And of course, the SEC is getting Oklahoma and Texas.
They'll be 18 in the ACC, 16 in the SEC.
Seeding for the NCAA tournament just got a lot harder. I'm sure they're going to come up with some formula first and second round, because that whole rule about not being able to play somebody in your conference to the regional final, it's going to be tough. Yeah, I'm sure they're working on it.
Well, unless they make drastic changes, the days of home and home are probably gone. You may only see an opponent once and you may not see everybody in your league.
I'd like to see an in-conference RPI or net based on the unbalanced schedules.
Somebody's working on that too.
I was talking about that. Yeah, I'm sure they're working on it.
Both sides are still working hard. Washington can't knock it down. Oliver and one. Well, you gotta love the Vanderbilt effort that coaches do. They're all up off the bench.
I mean, Shea Ralph is one of the young, bright head coaches in our game, and I remember watching her as an assistant at Pitt for Agnes Baronato, drawing up the game plan and executing and communicating, and of course, spending all the time with Coach Oriama that she spent with him. Can't help but absorb so much knowledge about the game. Of course, Shea was an elite level player herself.
Steals from the corner. Off the backboard. 5-on-1. Vandy running the floor. Washington, no. Third chance. And that one goes.
So Lacey Steele's going to have to just burn that one and get ready for the next and keep working.
Look out now. This score is tightening up a bit. Rivers has to come back in with James. They're a bucket away from getting this into single digits. 7-0 run. Their second one of this quarter.
Was there 26 points? Cut to 11?
Yes.
That's called keeping your focus. I sort of lost mine.
And the takeaway. Washington on the run. And look at this from the Commodores. Single digits and a steal. Cambridge for three. Still 2 minutes to go. And suddenly it's down to a 3-possession game.
The trap of the ball screen, the change of the rhythm defensively, all of that has allowed Shea Ralph to get her team back in it.
Look at the momentum shift, and they are feeling it for Vandy right now.
Good D on the ball, the pick of Sanaya Rivers, and then the leave ahead to to Washington. He finishes off the glass, and then we get another steal on the out-of-bounds play. Heads up by Vandy.
So as we're getting ready to put this in the win column for the ACC, the SEC says not so fast.
Six-point lead whittled down to 3 possessions.
Hey, Sunday, the whole crew will have their annual Selection Day special. It's a 1-hour show that will include breakdowns and analysis of the ACC's bowl-bound teams and the matchups. Coverage starts at 6 Eastern right here on ACC Network and the ESPN app. How big would this be for Vanderbilt? And how devastating a blow for NC State if they can't close this out?
We got to stay aggressive right here offensively. Clearing it out for Rivers.
Rivers, nice find on the baseline, James, and a chance for a three-point play.
That's all good out of the break. You build some confidence right here, putting the ball in the hands of your two best players. Rivers drops it off to James with a floater at the rim. James missed a couple of free throws earlier.
This is again 14 points for Isaiah.
Numbers for Vandy.
And a block by Hayes. Change of possession, NC State.
Got to be smart right here if you're NC State.
Yeah, the
casual.
Bench is yelling at him to downshift and work that clock. again, the decision to be made by Rivers. Good ball pressure right here by the freshman Green. Oh, terrible pass. That was an easy takeaway. Cambridge, Green, 3. Got it!
1 minute remaining. 1 minute.
Final minute.
Westmore might want to consider using one of his timeouts to advance the ball.
Vandy calling for pressure.
Got to be tight with your handle right here. Here comes a double. They want to get the ball out of Rivers' hands.
On the bump.
Wow, that was close.
Just as she was losing her footing.
Vandy foul number 4.
We watched Shea Ralph prepare her team to trap ball screens, and they have done a really good job here. They ran Washington from under the basket to try to get the ball out of Rivers' hands. They almost got that turnover.
On the line for the Wolfpack, number 22, Sanaya Rivers.
I tell you what, Beth. You know, we were talking about this before, about trapping middle ball screen action, right? I mean, it's tough on the women's game. It's hard to make a play out of that. I don't see many women's teams that are willing to gamble that way.
And NC State has now missed 11 free throws tonight, allowing Vandy to hang around, make it 12 free throws. Collins offensive rebound. And here come the Commodores again.
A good screen in transition.
Oh, Green walked.
Tell you what, Shea Ralph talked to us about closing out those 4 one-possession games and the grit that her team showed. How about this?
From 26 down to make it a game here in the last couple of minutes.
Now, somebody's going to have to help here. There's a double team on Rivers.
I'd stay aggressive with Vandy right here. Keep being aggressive. They'll throw the double again. Hayes helps. James. They don't need to shoot. Shot clock is off. And Shea Ralph says don't foul. And that'll do it. NC State hangs on, but a serious threat from Vanderbilt here in the fourth quarter. And it's NC State improving to 8-0. Vanderbilt falls for the first time, 7-1 on the year. Tonight's player of the game is brought to you by Dixie Ultra, and it's Sanaya Rivers. 22 points, 8 rebounds. She had a couple of assists.
What a battle. I mean, Vandy made it a game. NC State was able to hang on and finish it off, but you can see why Vanderbilt was undefeated coming in here, and their change of rhythm on the defensive end definitely had an impact. NC State's got some good film to look at in the fourth quarter to survive being up 26 and finishing with an 8-point win.
Final tonight, NC State over Vanderbilt, 70-62. We're going to send it to Kelsey and Muppet in the studio, followed by men's basketball. ACC-SEC Challenge with Georgia and Florida State. Ben Mullins along with Debbie Antonelli. So long from Raleigh. We'll see you tomorrow night in Chapel Hill.
Because it was a 70-62 win for NC State. The Hall of Famer Muffet McGraw, Kelsey Riggs hanging out with you for a few minutes here. Coach, it was a big lead and then it was a smaller lead, but NC State able to hang on and get the job done. And in this game, this is a game that you should win, and they're able to take care of business.
Well, Westmore's 250th victory in NC State didn't come easy. They squandered the lead. They really got off to a slow start in the game, and it's a great teachable moment, a great learning lesson for them to know we've got to come out every game. We're ranked in the top 5 now. There's a lot of pressure, a big X on our back. People are coming out to get you. You can never relax. Got to keep your foot on the gas.
They led by as many as 26 points. You see, it was just an 8-point win for them overall, but they do indeed get the job done.